had great crowds in Georgia last week and now here and all over the country. They love us and we love you. 7 months from now, the people of Michigan are going to fire the radical left Democrats who are destroying our country. You're going to elect an incredible slate of proud America First Republicans up and down the ballot. And together we are going to end crazy Nancy Pelosi's political career once and for all. And you're going to throw out Gretchen Whitmer, the job that she's done. I don't think we've ever had a time in our country where we felt so low, so dejected. What's going on is absolutely unacceptable. We're living through the most dangerous period of our lifetime, and we have a president who has no idea what's going on. Everything the radical left touches turns into a catastrophic mess, the likes of which we have never seen before. To this extent, we have never seen anything like it before. Biden and the congressional Democrats triggered massive inflation. They declared war on American energy, and the middle class is now being crushed by the highest gas and food prices in the history of our country. Can you believe it? Bloodthirsty criminals and vicious thugs are running wild on the streets of our Democrat-run cities. Ambush-style attacks on police officers, along with police officer deaths, have more than doubled in a single year, and violent carjackings are ravaging Detroit, Chicago, Minneapolis, and Milwaukee, and many other cities at a rate never before seen. Think of that. Biden delivered the single worst humiliation in American history with his surrender in Afghanistan. That was terrible. And now Biden's weakness has given us the Ukraine disaster. It's a horrible thing to watch. Biden is also now pleading with the Venezuelan dictator to sell us oil. What do we need his oil for? We have so much right under our own feet, more than any other country. From the Trump administration, where we were energy independent for the first time in the history of our country. The choice this November is very simple. If you want high crime, high prices, high taxes, high corruption, and high incompetence, vote for the radical Democrats. If you want a country that is strong, sovereign, solvent, safe, and secure, you must vote for America First Republicans. But of all the Biden catastrophes, perhaps none is more dangerous or devastating than his complete annihilation of America's borders. What's happening? What's happening? When I left office, we handed the new administration the most secure border in the history of our country. We never had a border so secure ever before, and that includes drugs coming in. We never had anything like it. We had ended catch and release. We had stopped asylum fraud and built nearly 500 miles of beautiful wall, just like the Border Patrol wanted. Our border was sealed. Our border was sealed. We had the lowest numbers ever recorded. But then Biden and the open borders, these extremists, these sick extremists, systematically dismantled the border security measures we put into place and brought illegal aliens streaming across the southern border in numbers like we've never seen before. Just yesterday, the Biden administration terminated the critical Title 42 protection that I put into place to ensure expedited removals. With this foolhardy plan to end Title 42, Biden will be opening the floodgates to a far greater extent than even now, and we will be deluged by illegal immigration like no country has ever witnessed or had to endure. Remember, as almost everyone said, I was right about everything, and that's true. I was right about everything. But I believe Americans deserve a president who will secure our borders, the borders of our nation, who will protect our citizens, who will defend our sovereignty, and who will stop the biggest invasion ever of our country and probably of any country. There's never been anything like it. We're being invaded, and that's the word. We're being invaded by millions and millions of people. Many of them are criminals who should not be allowed into our country. We're going to be paying a price. If any part of our country is going to be turned into a migrant camp, it should not be the communities of hardworking Americans. It should be the neighborhoods of the radical left politicians. They're looking to load up our country with murderers, with drug dealers, with human traffickers, and thugs. And that's what's happening, too. The radical Democrats believe America should be a sanctuary for dangerous criminal aliens. Republicans believe our country should be a sanctuary for law-abiding Americans and people that want to live the American dream. Whatever happened to the American dream? The 5 worst presidents in American history, and probably a hell of a lot more than that, and put them together, and they would not have done the damage that Joe Biden has done in our country in just 15 months. I'm saying it's not irreparable. We can fix it. Otherwise, there's no reason for me to be here. We can fix it. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. What a shame. And the truth is, I ran twice. We won twice, and we did much better the second time than we did the first. And now we may have to do it again. And you have a lot of rhino Republicans that didn't want to look to. I think in many ways the rhinos are worse than the Democrats because at least you know where the Democrats are coming from. The rhinos are bad news. You know what rhino is? Republican in name only. As one critical step, we have to fire the radical Democrat officials who gave us this total calamity, starting with your Socialist Secretary of State Benson and your lawless Attorney General Dana Nessel. She's very terrible. She's terrible. We're joined tonight by 2 incredible candidates who are going to beat those extreme leftists this November. They're great people. These are great people. I know them well. First, I'm pleased to introduce your next Michigan Secretary of State. This is a wonderful woman with a beautiful mom and dad who I just met backstage. Christina Caramo.
First, I want President Trump, thank you for what you did for our country. You pulled the scale off of so many people's eyes of how there's a cabal of people in leadership bent on destroying our country. Thank you. Thank you. We actually had a person in our presidency who loved our country and who didn't do it to advance himself, but to actually fight back. Thank you. Because that's what we need in leadership. You know, what's interesting is according to the state of Michigan, I didn't vote in the 2020 election. And what's so interesting of all the lies told about me, that's the most infuriating thing. Like, why would I spend all that time at the TCF Center, knock doors for President Trump, and turn around and not vote? But then I FOIA'd my application to vote, proving that I voted in the 2020 election, even though according to the state of Michigan, I didn't vote. And there are so many people across the state where according to the Secretary of State, they voted different than they actually did vote. But we're insurrectionists, we're traitors, big lie proponents for asking questions. But then our media protects corrupt politicians and demonizes citizens for speaking up. So I am so excited to be your next Secretary of State to make sure that no matter who you vote for, what you believe, your vote counts and your vote isn't nullified by an illegal ballot. And I want to thank President Trump for all you've done for our country. And you know what else, President Trump? You inspired so many people to run for office, to stand up and fight back, because he cannot do it by himself. It's an army of people across our state who are fighting back, little MAGA warriors, and we're getting the job done. Thank you.
Wow. Who is putting his life and reputation on the line, Matt DePerno.
Thank you. You know, thank you, President Trump. You are an inspiration and a great leader. And I say this, the greatest president in the history of this country. tell you this. This is what the MAGA movement is about. Remember in January 2017, when Donald Trump was inaugurated, he stood on those steps in Washington, D.C. And remember that picture with those two people sitting over his left shoulder, George W. Bush and Barack Obama. I remember that picture vividly because President Trump said to every one of us, he said, today, I give the country back to the people. And that is what we mean when we say America First candidates and Michigan First candidates. That's what we're talking about. That's what we're going to do in November. We are going to beat these Democrats. No longer will we allow the elites in this country to control our elections and to control us. In the spring of 2020, Governor Whitmer shut down our state. And some of us stood up and fought against it. Never submit to tyranny. When I am elected as Attorney General, we will change this in this state. We will restore this state back to what it once was, a constitutional republic. I will return the office back to the law firm for the people, where I will represent every one of you. But it starts at the convention coming up. Every one of you delegates need to get to your county conventions. Donald Trump is still the leader of this party. And Donald Trump has come here today and said to every one of you delegates, support Matt DePerno, support Christine Caramo. So let me hear it from you right now. Are you going to do that? This right here is the continuation of the MAGA movement, and we have President Donald Trump to thank for that. The 45th President of the United States, and I dare say I hope the 47th.
At the county convention, be sure to ask every candidate running, and you have to do this for state convention if they will support the Trump ticket. We have an incredible ticket of people. And if they won't give you that assurance, don't give them your vote. John Gibbs, a brave man, a great man, a brilliant student, come on up.
First of all, thank you, President Trump. Thank you for the model you provide for every decent American to stop being afraid for a change. Aren't you guys tired of people being scared of being called names, being scared of being canceled, being scared of their own shadow? But President Trump has shown us a model for all the regular, decent people all around the country can finally stand up and stop being afraid and do what's right. Do you think all these mama bears, these wonderful and amazing mama bears at the school board meetings, we wouldn't be doing that without President Trump's leadership and model he provided for how to stand up against the corrupt system? So let's keep doing that, and let's not be too nice like we always have been. Let's start being a little bit tougher. Let's start being a little bit more ferocious. Let's have some sharp teeth when we go, arr. Isn't that what we learned from President Trump? That is what we've learned. I'm running against one of the biggest rhinos in Congress, who voted to impeach President Trump, the greatest president, as his first vote as a congressman. He's got to go. He's got to get out of there. So let's get out in November. Let's support the Trump candidates and support me, especially running in the Grand Rapids area, West Michigan, 3rd District. Let's go. Let's get Peter Meyer out of there. Let's support President Trump's agenda in Congress. Vote John Gibbs. Thank you. And thank you, President Trump.
Thank you and I love you too. Thank you, darling. Very good. Stand up. I want to see who loves me. Because I actually... No, I had a woman say it, and I just see her, and she's great. Thank you very much. And there was a guy that said it, and I love him. It's not my thing, but I love him too. I love him too. Thank you very much. Thank you. Is there anything better than a Trump rally? Seriously, is there anything better? What would we be doing right now? Would be sitting home, watching television, eating, calling people, bored, and here we are having a good time trying to save our country, right? You ever see Biden when he says, it's great to be with the people of Ohio? No, you're in Michigan. No. Or he's in Florida, and he says, it's great to be with the people of Iowa. No, there are palm trees out there. They don't have palm trees. Then he says, this is a beautiful Sunday afternoon to be with. No, this is Saturday. If I ever made a mistake like that, they'd say he should get out of office immediately. But Biden used to make it all the time. He still does, actually. They corrupt. How about he makes a press conference and they always have like 4 corrections. No, he didn't mean that. He didn't mean what he said. He didn't mean any of it. Actually, it's very insulting, though. You know, you're the president, or all these people that half of them didn't have a job. Real wages are falling, and we are teetering on the edge of an economic nightmare known as stagflation. Does anybody know stagflation? You don't want to know? That's simultaneous inflation and recession. How's that sound? Good? It's not good. And this week, Biden released a budget with plans to turbocharge this disaster with record high spending, the largest tax increase in history, and a business tax hike that will export millions of jobs back to China and other foreign countries and guarantee that companies will leave the United States in record numbers to go elsewhere. But with respect to our country, do not lose hope, because with the right leadership, America will be back greater, stronger, and more powerful than ever before. We're going to retake Congress, bring Joe Biden and crazy Nancy Pelosi's socialist spending spree to a screeching halt. Our country can't take it any longer. Another top priority for Republican majorities will be to pass a bill immediately terminating every single COVID mandate. The American people will not sit idly by and allow our children to be indoctrinated, segregated, and mutilated by the lunatic left. Not going to stand for it. Not going to stand for it. Another key step for a Republican Congress will be to restore free speech in America. You know, they say that in Russia, the people in Russia don't even know they're having a war because they have a rigged press. We have the same rigged press. Maybe not quite as severe, but it'll be there in the not too distant future because it's going to be close. I said, how is it close? I'm for oil, I'm for God, I'm for guns. Second Amendment. They want no oil. How does this play in Texas? They want no oil. They want no God. And they want no guns. How does that play? No guns, no oil, no God in Texas. And then they say it's going to be close. It wasn't close. We knocked the hell out of them. But we have to win big. This is the year we're going to take back the House, we're going to take back the Senate, and we're going to take back America. And in 2024, most importantly, we are going to take back our beautiful White House. We will shut down Joe Biden's border disaster, institute stay in Mexico. I made a deal with Mexico. We will end chain migration. We will end the visa lottery, and we will finish, it could be done in a few weeks, finish the wall. The wall is almost complete. That's one of the reasons we had such good numbers. And we will restore law and order in America, and in particular in our out-of-control Democrat-run cities. If I do make you happy, would anybody here like to see me run? So if we do it, we'll do it we can do things the right way, and we'll be able to do it, and nobody will be able to criticize us, because nobody has ever run a country worse in our history and in most other countries' history than the United States of America has been run for the last 15 months. So we'll be able to do it right, and we're going to bring back law and order. We will protect innocent life. We will defend our Constitution. We will defend the Second Amendment, and we will proudly We will uphold the Judeo-Christian values and principles of our nation's founding. And we will teach our children to love their country, honor our history, and to always respect our great, beautiful American flag. So in conclusion, our MAGA movement is by far the greatest political movement in the history of our country. And the radical left is not and will not even challenge that statement, because there's never been anything like this movement. And the fake news media back there never challenges it. I say it all the time. This is the greatest because they can. This is the greatest movement. You elected a president twice, and we're going to possibly have to do it a third time. Together we're standing up against some of the most sinister forces, entrenched interests, and vicious opponents our people have ever seen, or our country has ever seen. Despite all you're hearing and seeing of China and Russia and Iran and others, our biggest danger is not from outside coming in. Our biggest danger is from the sick and radical politicians that are knowingly or unknowingly wanting to destroy our country. It's the biggest danger. It's a bigger danger than Russia and China. But no matter how big or powerful these corrupt radicals may be, you must never forget this nation does not belong to them. This nation belongs to you, the people that built it. This is your home. This is your heritage, and our American liberty is your God-given right. It was hardworking patriots like you who built this country, and together we are going to save our country. We can't let this happen. We are going to fight for America like no one has ever fought before. There is no mountain we cannot climb. There is no summit we cannot reach. There is no challenge we cannot meet. There is no victory we cannot have. We will not bend. We will not break. We will not yield. We will never give in. We will never give up. We will never, ever back down as long as we are confident and united. The terrible and very sick people that we are fighting do not stand a chance of victory, because we are Americans. You built this country. You built this country. And Americans kneel to God and God alone. My fellow citizens, this incredible journey we are on together has only just begun. You know it's only just begun. And it's time to start thinking about greatness for our country again. We don't talk about growing our country anymore. We don't talk about all of those things that really go to making a country great, like we used to many, many years ago, decades ago. All we talk about today is race, inflation, and the environment. We talk about nothing else. We don't talk about what it takes to make our country great again. And we always have to remember that we are one movement, one people, one family, and one glorious American nation. That's what we are. We're a glorious American nation, and you should be so proud of it. And so with the help of everyone here today, thank you, Michigan, and citizens all across our land, we will make America powerful again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America strong again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. Thank you, Michigan. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you.